How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another workbench upgrade airsoft adventure. Today I've got something a little different for you. I've got an AAP-01 here, and we're going to be installing a new front barrel assembly along with a new upgraded hop-up assembly. Now, I haven't done too many of these. I've already installed the front sight and the Picatinny rail on the front barrel assembly. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. In order to do this upgrade, you're going to need a few simple tools: Phillips head screwdriver, Allen keys, and a little bit of grease will help with the assembly of the hop-up, and I'll show you what that's for. I've had quite a few of these come across my path, and since the beginning, since these came out, I hate to say it, I'm sorry guys, but I have not been a fan. Just for the way that I have seen these things break and go down for the price of them, I would just rather buy a TM. You guys know I'm biased, but yeah, if I'm going to buy a plastic gun that's going to break, guaranteed to break, I'm going to buy a TM and be able to do better things to it. You know, you guys can do all the upgrades and stuff like that to these too, but someone recently just asked me about, hey, what do you think about one of these? And I said, well, remember not too long ago, these things were all over the field, they were everywhere, but how many of them do you see now? You only see a couple here and there. You don't see as many as you used to. You see a couple here and there now and then, and a lot of them, I'd hate to say it, but they've broke down. People have sold them or just put them away and said, okay, I'm not even going to bother with this thing. We're going to go ahead and get started on this hop-up unit. So, step 1, get rid of the lower. Step 2, remove the screws for the hop-up unit. I've already done that, taking the hop-up unit out. Sped this up just a little bit. Step 3, remove these screws right here on each side. Now you'll have your hop-up unit. Next, go after this screw right here. Take that screw out, lift off both of these wheels, get rid of both of these. Then you can get into these 4 screws right here. These are Phillips head screws here. Unscrew those, remove the top, and your inner barrel will come out. First thing, go to the front, remove this O-ring, set that to the side. Now onto the new hop-up unit. Okay, a little funky, comes in a bunch of pieces. Try to pay attention and figure out which way they go. They only go one way. We'll start with this. So the little bag that comes with it is going to have your hop-up arm, this little pin with a spring on it, an O-ring, another small spring, your hop-up nub, and 2 small Allen head grub screws. So first thing we're going to do, take that O-ring, slide it over the body of the hop-up unit to that groove right there. There's another groove back here, but just go to that groove right there. Okay, now we can take our inner barrel, and you'll see that slot right there. We're going to slide our inner barrel in, and our bucking is going to lock right into that groove right there. It's still going to be a little bit loose, but it's okay. Just keep going from here. Alright, next is going to be this little silver piece right here. If you orientate it with the little bump right here, straight up to the top, just like that, you'll be fine. Next is going to be this piece. Now here's where the grease comes in. You'll see this little hole right there. Just going to take a little bit of grease, and I'm going to put it on this spring, so when I insert it into this piece, it's going to stay in here with that grease on there. It's going to, plus, why not grease it anyways, right? Alright, so that's the next piece. You'll notice all these little dimples right here. That's what that pin coincides with. So you slide that on, and it does have a groove inside here that locks into this groove here, so you can kind of not mess this up. And you'll feel the little clicking, click, 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 click. Just leave that for now. Next is going to be this piece. You'll see the two notches on the sides in here. Now this is going to slide over the barrel. Then you're going to line up the front hole there with those two notches just like that. But first, we're going to install the hop-up arm. So I want you to go back and we're going to take some of that grease. We're going to put it on our little hop-up nub area. And I'm going to put some in my little spring pocket area right here. There's a little dimple right there, a little hole. I'm going to put some grease in there. This little spring, this little guy, is going to go in that spring pocket. Yep, seated right in there. And then this little hop-up nub, the little rubber barrel looking thing, is going to go right there. The two bars right here are what coincide with the little arm here. Let's try and flip it around, and yep, successful with the grease. Our parts are staying right where we want. Okay, so all you got to do is hook that arm on there. Once you get it to that point, I want you to pull this back out like that, push that down, and then push that back in. That's it, you're good to go. Now we just want to keep pressure on this, front to back, just like this, while I install those front grub screws. There we go. Alright, now screw this pretty much all the way in. It has to be flush at least, so that you can't feel it on the side. Yep, there's still got to go in a little bit more. Okay, we'll get the other one on the other side. And that's pretty much it. Got a completed installed hop-up unit. Now we have to install that front O-ring that goes around the front here. Making sure that the part that says hop goes to the bottom. We're going to insert the front, and you have to push it a little bit just to that front hole right there, and that's it. Now we install the two screws on the side, like so. One on one side, one on the other side. Then we install into the upper receiver, and we replace the two screws here. And that's it. Put our upper back on our lower. So that's how you do a hop-up upgrade and a front barrel upgrade. Front barrel is pretty simple, man. Switch out some screws, that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. You know what to do. Heavy metal out.